What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Grim here from Outside MTG, and today we're playing my favorite deck ever. I love Nexus. Okay, I'm sorry. But the reason we're playing Nexus today is just because a lot of people here lately, after the last weekend's PT, was all like 32 copies of Breeding Pool in the top 8, 32 Growth Spirals in the top 8. This is ridiculous. Reclamation's out of control, which, I mean, mind you, it's the best deck in Standard, so don't get it wrong. Team of Rec is amazing. I'm not trying to downplay it from that angle, but for anyone who thinks that's the worst thing Reclamation can do to you, didn't play Standard when this card was legal, or hasn't been unfortunate enough to stumble across it in Ranked yet over on the historic side of things. But with that being said, today we're going to show you just how bad Reclamation can get, and we're going to take infinite turns with Nexus of Fate. Just in case anyone's unfamiliar with this archetype, once you've flipped Azcanta, it lets you look at the top 4 cards, reveal a non-creature, non-land, put it in your hand, rest go to the bottom, right? Well, with Reclamation, we get to do this multiple times. Tamiyo thins our deck out, helping us flip this, and getting more copies of Nexus. We take infinite turns, and then we can just get in with a Brazen Borrower in the air, a Shark from the Typhoon in the air. Hell, we even have Uro here. It's kind of more there as life gain and ramp, but it can be a finisher. And it's sort of an additional growth spiral for us. Over here in the sideboard, a lot of Nexus decks I like have kind of a transformative beatdown plan out of the sideboard, but we're dedicating to the combo because the point of this video, again, show you just how bad Rec can get. So we're just here to protect the combo. We got Negates and Disputes to keep folks off of us. Lovestruck Beast is great against any aggro deck, but it really shines against Gruul aggro. So with Gruul aggro, our Root Snares here that just fog our opponent for a turn don't do much in the face of a deck that's playing generally anywhere from 3 to 4 copies of Bonecrusher Giant, as the stomp will stop our Root Snare, and then generally 4 copies of Questing Beast that'll do the same. But with Gust and Lovestruck Beast, we can stand in front of them, we can put them down, we can block forever. So hey, with that being said, let's go introduce some people to misery. Oh, poor opponent, they're disliked. We like you, opponent. It's the battle of the bottom, 92 versus 93. I was having too much fun just janking off in Mythic. I was like, there's still plenty of time in the season. We'll get back into the top 1200. We'll qualify for the next one also. That's just not good enough. Thassa's Intervention is so good in this deck. Hey, that's pretty good though. I wonder how relevant this Root Snare is going to be. We're going to keep it and ditch the Growth Spiral. We unfortunately don't have an untapped blue source on one. We're just going to try this. Alright, I'm about to see a little mono white devotion, it looks like. Down with it, opponent. Here is our search for Azcanta. Start getting our draw set up. One important thing to mention with a deck like this, as miserable as it is, the least you can do for your opponent is have nice looking cards for them to look at. This is going to draw us another card. Yeah, sure, I'll take it. Why not? Drop in the harbor. Let's get our spiral on. Take a basic island with this one. And say go. These Root Snares, when you're trying to set up for the combo, are effectively a Nexus of Fate against decks like this that just have to get in with combat damage. Like, that's their win con. So in this kind of matchup, we basically have 8 copies of Root Snare, or 8 copies of Nexus of Fate. Sure, opponent. You gotta pump up the jams on that Pride Mate for real. Oh, this is gonna sting. Bottom that. Hey, found another one. We are just gonna take this first hit though. Throw that in the yard. Hey, that's a Tamiyo. Like finding Tamiyo. Uro can hit a land for us here too. We can Tamiyo, have Tamiyo pick up a Root Snare. Because we're that kind of person in this matchup. This is where the frustration sets in. My turn 5, opponent has an like a pretty imposing board state here. That being said though, what if we didn't? Yeah, that's awesome, opponent. We're at 6. If we graveyard this flips. Yeah, let's flip us an Azcanta. Shark Typhoon, huh? Okay. For the time being, we're just gonna Tamiyo +1 and ask for Wilderness Reclamation.
I think you will find my note helpful.
We found 2 of them. Gross. Alright. We'll Root Snare the opponent again. We may just -3 Tamiyo. I think we're gonna -3 Tamiyo and just pick the Root Snare back up. So yeah, let's let our opponent get sad. There are gonna be so many triggers here. So many triggers. We are probably going to go ahead and max out on Root Snares. You know what, I'm going to snare you now in case you don't want to set to those triggers, because I'm down to not set to those triggers, opponent. Okay, cool. Opponent was also down to skip the triggers. Yeah, if you get to attack, he just got us. Like, we both know that. I'm going to start with -3 Tamiyo. I'm going to be defensive a little bit longer. Get this Root Snare. You always want to set the stop early. Alright, and we'll pass to our end step and activate Azcanta. See if we can find us a copy of Nexus of Fate here. No Nexus, but that's a pretty good card. With double Reclamation out, it'll let us dig really deep. I would also like to opt opponent. Uro, nope. I'm basically bottoming any card that's not Nexus of Fate right now. Root Snare you, opponent. Okay. Now the question is, how do I want to proceed? We've got 35 cards in the library, and we can take a couple of looks with Azcanta. I would like Nexus of Fate.
To the library.
There it is. Alright. Well, there's a very real possibility our opponent just doesn't get to take another turn from here. Yeah, our opponent sees it. Okay, well against them, we do want these Root Snares. Brazen Borrower is definitely going to be the win con here. What are we dropping? We definitely don't need Dispute. I think we'll drop an Intervention. I'm kind of tempted to drop one more Intervention for a Lovestruck Beast, though. I don't know. I think we'll run it at him like this and see how we feel about it. Well, will we though? I'm sorry, I'm being super indecisive right now, but I think I want to. I would like one Lovestruck Beast, 2 Lovestruck Beasts. We're not really concerned with attacking with it, but the 5/5 body should be relevant. It's a turn 3 Tamiyo. Alright, I'll take turn 3 Tamiyo. Blast Zone's really good too, because the opponent's deck is just full of 1 and 2 drops. Let's crack this and get a green, so we can get our spiral on. Okay. Spiral into breeding pool. Still probably just Tamiyo currently though. The opponent has Pride Mate to follow this up. It's going to be scary. And they do. Here. No need to keep them in suspense. Alright, that'll buy some time. Honestly, we just love a Reclamation off the top. Reclamation off the top here would be huge. Bonus Root Snare. Sure. I'm going to drop in the castle and say go. We'll spiral plus snare him. Figure it out from there. Actually, we might not even snare him, depending on how much damage they can get in for. If it's not lethal... Okay, that might make it lethal. We might have to start snaring now. Yeah, that's enough to get us. We're gonna have to start snaring immediately. Just for the tilt factor though, we're gonna start on Growth Spiral like we didn't have it and we got lucky. Another one, that's silly. Get snared, opponent. Ooh, and we found Reclamation. Yeah, no need for a stop here. We could take out all 2 drops with this Blast Zone. Still got a ton of cards in library, but we've got a nice setup going here. Snare the opponent. We're gonna crank Blast Zone up 1 time. We'll wait to do that if they're in step. It's highly unlikely we intervention, but I like to make them think they have to worry about something. Alright, got Blast Zone cranked up to 2. I think we're just gonna Tamiyo look for Nexus of Fate. Actually, let's opt first, because we're gonna opt as well, so. Okay, we should have asked for Nexus of Fate with Tamiyo. I stand corrected.
You would make an excellent informant for my study.
I think we might still just be looking for more copies of Nexus, honestly. That was good to get those out of the way. We actually have the option to just pop this on 2, and we can save this Root Snare for later. I kind of like the idea of having the mana though. And Tamiyo can just pick Snare right back up. Opponent definitely sees they need to be putting those counters elsewhere. Since that's the case, I'm just going to snare them now. See if maybe they're happy just sitting back and chilling. If they want the triggers, they can have them. Oops. Still got 23 minutes on the clock. See, for everyone who says Nexus is a slow deck, we're playing at the same rate as the opponent. I'm not even playing fast. Would you like the triggers, opponent? Opponent would like the triggers. Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and set a stop, because we are using our mana and our end step on this Nexus, regardless. Azcanta off the top would actually be kind of lit. We might ask for Azcanta with Tamiyo. Because we can Azcanta and cast Nexus. And flip it. Sorry, I kind of spaced out there during all the triggers. Another Nexus, you say? Yeah, we're gonna look for search for Azcanta here.
I know I noted this somewhere.
No Azcanta. Ooh. Alright. Use this handy dandy QQ trick. We'll take a turn. Yeah, we'll take the land. We're gonna ask for Azcanta again.
Seek and find.
There's an Uro we can escape. 1, 2, 3, 4, and we'll still have Nexus mana. Do we have? Yeah, we have plenty of cards we don't mind getting rid of. Yeah, let's go ahead and escape Uro. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Draw another card. Our library's down to 31, so we are getting to that sweet spot where if we can get set up, we can start taking infinite turns. Backup Tamiyo's not bad. Yeah, if I was the opponent, I would go ahead and activate Heliod so he didn't have to keep dealing with things like that. Let's take another turn. I think we're just asking for Nexus this time. Okay, or we'll ask for Azcanta again. There's only 2 in the deck, but we're bound to hit one eventually. Yeah, we should have asked for Nexus. Brutal. I'm just gonna play another Tamiyo. Well, you know what? Let's swing first. Let's see what we find. All they have is the 5/5, so they can't stop Uro. Shark Typhoon. Okay. Let's get greedy with this Tamiyo. We'll just ask for Nexus this time, and if Azcanta goes to the yard, we'll pick it up. Opponent might just concede to this Nexus, honestly. Yeah, opponent has had enough. You will get a handful of wins with this deck where people just don't want to play Magic with you. You know, the funny thing is this deck is banned in Pioneer. It's banned in Best of 1 on Arena. But for some reason it's still historic legal. I don't have a great explanation for that. Just pointing it out. Hopefully we don't end up needing that Root Snare, because I would like to shock on 1 and opt. Opponent mulligan pretty hard there. Alright. It's gonna be one of these, huh? Could be Gruul aggro. That sure suggests Gruul aggro so far. And that pretty much solidifies it. Maybe we can counter a Questing Beast on the way down here. Robber. Yeah, no, can't even counter that. Yep, resolve. Almost forgot about the little Lena Wario. Alright, the opponent's gonna get to opt. That's kinda cool. Not every day Gruul aggro gets to opt. Well, it's untapped. Hope for the best. If they can just put a ton of pressure into play and we can save this intervention. Double reclamation with intervention will let us dig 6 next turn at the end step. Spellbreaker. Sure. No. I guess not. No, they can still afford to pay for it. Yeah, we don't have a choice. Man, remember that one time we put Root Snare on the bottom? I remember. We literally cannot give the opponent another turn from here. But I don't know how we pull that off. Because there are cards in graveyards, right? Oh, there are no cards in graveyards. Huh. That's interesting. Okay. If that's the case, we're gonna Reclamation, wait for this Clothis trigger to go off, and then we'll Growth Spiral, pick up the Root Snare. Hopefully they don't have Questing Beast here. Do you have the stomp? Oh, opponent does not have the stomp. It's really good for us. But now we officially cannot give the opponent another turn. So we're gonna end the turn. Float all of our mana. We have to leave 1 open. That way if we find the Nexus, we can cast the Nexus. Let's look at the top 9. Okay, there's a Nexus. And it looks like just Tamiyo here. Cast Nexus. Another intervention. I think the drill is going to stay the same here. We're just going to intervention for 9. Oh. There's another Nexus. There's a search for Azcanta. Cast our Nexus. Take a turn. Blast Zone. Okay. Put Azcanta down. We got 4 in the yard currently. Okay, we can dig 8 deep with this. Let's continue trying to not give our opponent a turn. Alright, we have 7 now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah. Let's dig 10 deep. There's a Nexus and yet another intervention. We might be able to take all the turns here. That was a huge help in the cause. We'll just ask for Nexus.
Let me aid your research.
Alright, next combat. We'll pass. Q. Hit that. Load our mana. Look at the top 8. That's a Nexus. And that's a backup Tamiyo. That's a Nexus. Alright, well that's it. Good game, opponent. I'm just gonna tell them good game, that way if they don't want to stick around, they don't have to. Anytime you're gonna cast a Nexus, if you have like say a Tamiyo activation, cast it first to shuffle in your library so you can have more hits for it. Let's float them in. Let's do this. Float the mana one more time and go digging with Azcanta. That's a Nexus. Alright, we officially just have infinite turns at this point. If opponent just wants to stick around forever, maybe we'll fast forward through this and get on to game 2.
Seek and find.
There's 3 copies of Nexus. Have we milled a Shark Typhoon yet? Nope. Now we're just looking for Shark Typhoon and... oh, that other Magic the Gathering card. Brazen Borrower. Let's find a win con. Well, not a win con, but it'll keep this train rolling. Like our opponent literally just doesn't get to take turns anymore.
I think you will find my note.
Alright, there goes a Borrower. I think we're just gonna drop in Tamiyo and grab that Borrower.
Let us have a storied battle worth retelling. No tale should be discarded.
Nexus. And Nexus. And go digging. Just in case we found the Shark Typhoon. It'll put on a much faster clock. There's another Nexus. And another Nexus. Alright, find me Shark Typhoon.
To the library.
Still no Shark Typhoon, huh? It is still in, it's not in the graveyard, right? No, it's not in the yard. Okay, well, whatever. Typhoon? Typhoon? Ah, okay. No. Just bottoming Nexus at this point, just to find more copies of Nexus. Okay, one more look at the Typhoon. There it is. Perfect. Okay. Cast Nexus. In response, cast Nexus. And flash in Brazen Borrower. I don't know how big we can make this shark, so we're just going to put in an arbitrarily large number. I'll say that way, that's a 31-31 shark. We'll just do an even 30 just to be classy. And we'll cast one more Nexus because reasons. Opponent just sticking around. I don't know why, but whatever. Well, that's where those Lovestruck Beast and Aether Gust are going to come in handy. Let's trim one. We don't need this. Drop one of these. Drop both these Root Snares. Even though Root Snare was good there, there's just a number of times where it's not going to be against them. I'm down to drop another intervention, even though it performed well there. I still want to keep one Root Snare. We'll do it like this. Alright, let's take all the turns on number 640. Against Luris, huh? That kind of suggests sack. Oh, it's Luris Burn. Okay. Mono red is kind of a tough matchup for Nexus. It's winnable, but it's tough. If it stopped drawing copies of Nexus of Fate, that would be awesome. Probably need that Tamiyo at some point. Oh no, look, they are sack. Okay, good to know. I would like to snare you, opponent. Another Root Snare. Nah. We're looking for things like Reclamation at this point. It's a Blast Zone, though. Okay, I do like the Blast Zone, but I don't want them to know about it. If they want to dedicate to the board more for the Blast Zone, we are down. Go ahead and crack this too, just to make sure we don't get caught up in a mayhem. Oh no, there's no Mayhem Devil, he's Luris. Either way, I'd like to just get it out there. Got 4 in the yard. We'd have Tamiyo dig for a Reclamation. Our life total is getting dangerously low, though. This might actually just have to be Tamiyo pick up our Root Snare. Let's see. That might not even be enough. If opponent plays this right, they can actually get us through the Root Snare. We really need this to be Reclamation off the top. Sure. That's not a Reclamation. Uro, huh? I don't think Uro game 3 quite gets us there. I think we have a choice but to just kind of hope the opponent plays this wrong.
The moon looks intriguing tonight.
This is not the kind of plan I'm super into, but
I have learned much from my ancestors.
yep, little cat of an action. We've got to just start taking turns here, though. Like, if we can buy one more turn, this Tamiyo's just got to do its thing. Opponent does have lethal in play, though. We're going to hope opponent doesn't see it. Okay, they didn't sack the Dreadhorde Butcher. Actually, I don't think it'll matter, though. Yeah, they still just got us. They got enough going on. Yeah, then they just sacked the Butcher. That's enough damage. Yeah, good game, opponent. Lovestruck Beast, probably not terrible here. What do we want to trim to bring these in, though? We definitely don't want Dispute. Intervention's not amazing, and we'll cut it out. Let's try it like that. Alright. We can do better. Oh my god, that's awful. Yeah, that's what we're taking. Let's hope for the best. Got enough to get the Reclamation down. Yeah, kind of hoping to dodge Butcher though. Get my Opt on right quick. Nah. It's kind of hoping for like a growth spiral there. Sure. It's gonna sting. This is just Reclamation, hope for the best. It's not an amazing game plan. Again, don't bring in Graveyard Hate against the Nexus decks. Your best bet is to do what the opponent's been doing up to this point. Just go fast. Float our mana. And let's leave 2 up. And look at the top 6. And find a Root Snare here to stay in the game. Oh, none of those are Root Snare. Brazen Borrower is pretty good though. Brazen Borrower can send the 4/4 back to their hand. We got an extra turn we can take now too. This opponent has like Oven plus something. Oven plus Firebrand, I guess it would have been. Okay. Man, there's just not a good place for me to put this Blast Zone on. Not like a good number. I think we're just going to Azcanta. We have enough to Tamiyo and Nexus? We have enough to Tamiyo and Nexus. I think that's just going to be the game plan. It'll be Tamiyo, ask for Nexus, keep digging for Nexus.
Ruling you will be excellent research. I know this somewhere.
And we'll take a turn. This deck is really tedious in case you haven't noticed. Like most Grace combo decks, it's just all about playing the percentages. What all do we have? Nothing worth picking up. Yeah, we can't give the opponent another turn anyway. That was a pretty good find. And we have the option to escape Uro. Yeah, opponent's good. Okay, let's run it back. Let's go. Take down number 640 and help out our terrible percentage. I think it's actually the lowest I've ever been. It's a decent hand. We could find a growth spiral here. I'd be extra about it. Ooh, an opponent had to mold a 5. Poor opponent. And there's no regard for their life total in the matchup. Opponent is a madman. Sure. I'm just gonna ditch this intervention. That is the 4th land that we need. I guess that would be greedy to cycle that away, huh? We'll go and play it now before I talk myself into cycling it. Get Uro down next turn, set up for Reclamation, take an extra turn after that. Figure it out from there. That cat does not have us on a very fast clock. I guess it's 3 damage per turn, but whatever. It's like fast forward 8 turns from now, the cat gets us. We need something to go with this Reclamation, though. I might just see Lurrus move to hand, yeah. Opponent just needs something to do. There's another Nexus of Fate. We take 2 turns in a row, the opponent might just scoop it up now. The opponent just doesn't want to play Magic at all. I'm telling you, that is one of the bright sides of this deck that you'll never see, you know, listed anywhere. There's no stat to track it, just people hate the archetype. They hate it so much they'd rather just not play Magic. If they don't know they have the win, more often than not, people would just nope out. But hey guys, that's what we got for today. Just showing everybody, Reclamation can be much worse than just one big explosion to your face. You could have to sit there while your opponent takes infinite turns. Okay, with that being said, I'll see everybody tomorrow. Thanks for tuning in.